guys, what's up? So I finally got the new setup. I bet this quality is so much better for you guys to watch. You guys were stuck with that iPhone quality. So we finally got a new setup. Alright, so in this video today, we're going to go over the moves we made this week and some watch list candidates for next week. This is just a look back, some lessons that we learned, and some new strategies that we learned, and some very interesting stocks to watch for next week and to keep an eye on, maybe research, do your due diligence this weekend, keep an eye on them. Alright, so let's get to the recap of last week. Alright guys, first up, I'm going to be going through some lessons learned this week and a bunch of plays that we made and just what I learned from it. Alright guys, so first I'm going to be talking about a bunch of lessons that I learned this week from a bunch of plays that I made. Okay, so the first off, I'm going to be talking about Monday's play. So over the weekend, I was expecting a big drop. I was expecting a market crash this week. And Monday, it opened very, very red. I was betting heavily on the market going down. I had a bunch of puts on the Dow. I had a bunch of TVIX and I had a bunch of SPXS. So I was loaded up betting on the market going down. And Monday morning it paid off. I took a bunch of profits. I pretty much took all profits Monday morning on all my bets on the market going down because I saw this probably wasn't going to last. So that was a great move when I sold out. But later in the day Monday, I saw it go green. So I was thinking to myself, oh, is this going to be another crash the next day? So after that, I purchased more and more Dow puts. I had like half my portfolio in a Dow put. And then going into Tuesday, I was loaded up. Tuesday opened very green once again. So I had to cut losses as soon as possible. I lost like 50% on my investment, so that was a huge mistake. So lesson learned on this investment is don't bet heavy on the market going down. It's okay to hedge your portfolio. Like I talked about in a previous video, a slight hedge is always great to protect yourself and to limit your losses. But if you're going half in, if you're betting on the market going down with super risky put options, it's not worth it. It's never worth betting on the market to go down unless we're in like a full crash like we were earlier in the year, like March, that would have paid off. But it's not worth the risk unless you're a super risky investor and you're just looking to double your money super quick. So in this case, it was not smart for me. I will not be betting heavy on the market going down. I will be hedging my portfolio in the future because I do expect a pretty good sized crash, but it's just not smart to go all in betting on the market going down. Okay guys, next up, I'm going to talk about GAN, ticker symbol GAN. So as you guys know, this is my favorite stock in the market. I've been like all into this stock for the longest time. And I was kind of losing faith by the end of last week. I was like, okay, I know this is a great long-term stock, but short-term, is this going to perform? And as I was betting on the market crashing on Monday, I sold out of my GAN position last Friday. And I was super bullish on GAN's earnings, which were on Tuesday. So Monday, I saw GAN go up while the market was somewhat crashing like I expected. I didn't buy in on Monday, and GAN was up big on Monday. So that was scary for me because I knew I was going to have to buy in anyway. So I was like, okay, I'm going to wait it out. I'm going to buy in on Tuesday. Tuesday opened very green. It finally dropped to up like 1% that day. I bought in super heavy. I built out my huge position. Once again, GAN is like 1/4 of my entire portfolio, if not more. So that is a huge amount to have your money in one stock. So that definitely paid off. My original thesis is looking very good right now. I do expect it to reach $40 by the end of this year, by the end of 2020. So GAN is still my #1 favorite stock. And the lesson here is don't lose trust, don't sell out. I made a slight mistake selling on Friday. I made up for it, buying in back before earnings. But a lot of this was not worth it. And as an investor, you gotta be patient. I was not patient with this investment. I realized my mistake and I bought in very fast afterwards, but it was still not worth it in the long run. I did lose like 10% gains possibility that I could have had extra on my investment. So not a huge mistake because I made up for it, but it could have been much worse if I never made up for it. So I'm glad that I realized that, and I will not be making this mistake again in the future. Once you build your position, once you have a thesis, do not sell out unless that thesis gets destroyed somehow, unless some news comes out that that thesis is no longer valid. Okay, big play this week that I had was enphase Energy, ticker symbol ENPH. So on Wednesday, there was news that came out that, oh, enphase is lying about, they're pulling a Luckin coffee, they're lying about their income, they're lying about their revenue. And there was big news on this. The stock dropped 30%. So I saw this, and I knew this was another Luckin coffee. Reason because this is not a Chinese company, this is a US company. So I bought in heavy when it was down 30%. I bought in heavy on Wednesday as a swing trade, selling out on Thursday. So Thursday morning I was expecting it, and it was up a solid 12%. Later that day it went up 20%, pretty much made up for all of its losses, which was great for me. And I had a bunch of call options, so I leveraged my money and I doubled all my investment that I had in it, and it was pretty substantial. So I made a solid 1,500 off that one play. Every reaction in the stock market is an overreaction. That's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned, and I took full advantage of this, and I'll be making these plays in the future, especially if it's a very good company, like Enphase Energy is. This is kind of a 5-star company. Analysts love it, people love it. It's just very healthy. Now, are they a fraud? Possibly, but there's no proof that we would know anytime soon, and the federal government was not looking into it anytime soon. So I knew that either the management would come out and give their case of why they did not, and that would make the stock skyrocket, or what happened was people just realized that, oh, this is not Luckin Coffee, this is not Chinese company. There's very low chance of being a fraud in the U.S. government, in the U.S. economy. So my thesis was pretty easy. This is pretty easy money. I bought in heavy to options, sold out Thursday morning, secured my profits just in case bad news came out that day. So I doubled my money super quick using options, and it's just an overreaction play. I will be looking to make more of these plays in the future if there's kind of fake fraud type people. So this is a big play, something to be aware of, and a very awesome swing trade. All right, so the next stock I'm going to be talking about is Smith & Wesson, ticker symbol SWBI. So this is a play that I loved for earnings. Absolutely loved it for earnings. So earnings was on Thursday after hours, and I knew this, and I knew there was going to be a ton of hype surrounding it. So on Monday, I bought it super heavy to SWBI. I had options, I had shares, and it was down big on Monday because of the beginning crash, so I bought it at the beginning. I had about 20% gains. I took profits on Smith & Wesson just because I knew that all the upside of earnings was already priced in. My thesis was it had 20% upside from the start of the week. I saw that 20% upside get priced in already, so I sold out. I took profits, and lucky that Smith & Wesson did not have an amazing earnings like I was expecting, so I was wrong on that thesis, but it was priced in. It was an okay earnings, so the 20% upside was valid. My thesis was valid. I just outplayed my thesis by selling out before my thesis could be destroyed. Another move that I made with this one was I bought into Ruger the day before of Smith & Wesson's earnings, because I knew Smith & Wesson is a gun stock, so is Ruger. So Ruger, ticker symbol RGR, I bought in heavy to that. I was looking at that stock, I was studying a lot, researching this one a lot, and this is very undervalued compared to Smith & Wesson. Smith & Wesson was just overhyped because they had earnings soon. So I knew with Ruger, they were not overhyped, but they would benefit off of Smith & Wesson's amazing earnings. So the reason that I bought into this one was because once Smith & Wesson had amazing earnings, which is my thesis, Ruger would go up as well because they're in the same industry and they would pretty much have the same sales and all that good stuff. So on Wednesday and then going into Thursday, I made 50% of my money because I had call options on Ruger. Ruger skyrocketed with Smith & Wesson before earnings, so I sold out of both, took profits. I took profits actually this Friday morning on Ruger. I was a little bit late on that one, but it still was an amazing trade. I did make 50% of my money, great gains. It was just easy money once again. You got to look for these opportunities, these stocks that benefit off of other stocks' amazing earnings, and this is one of my favorite types of trades. You just kind of got to outthink the market, look for values, and look for sectors that are undervalued, and that's what you go for. So Ruger was an amazing play on Smith & Wesson's upside and high. So a couple more great plays I had this week. I bought in more heavy into Peloton. I got heavy into Peloton options as well. So this was a huge play. I'm expecting some great gains. I'm expecting $70 by the end of August. That's my price target for Peloton, if not higher. I would be surprised to see $80. Peloton is probably my second favorite stock at the moment behind GAN. So this week Peloton had 8% gain throughout the week, which is very solid for my huge position in it. And at the same time, GAN had 48% gains. I got 38% of these gains. So my two biggest positions, my two favorite stocks, I made some amazing profits. So once you have a thesis, the lesson on this is just stick with it. Do not sell out, do not get nervous. Hold long term. I made a slight mistake with GAN. I recovered. I learned my lesson from that one. Peloton I've been holding for the longest time. It is my second favorite stock, right behind GAN. Close second. It's actually competing with GAN in my portfolio for value because I am holding so many options and I only have shares of GAN because the GAN's option market is a lot less than Peloton's. There's a lot less liquidity with GAN's options and a lot less volume with that. So I have about the same amount of shares that I'm controlling with GAN and Peloton, but I do have more money into GAN because I own the shares instead of options. Alright guys, let's get into the stocks that I'll be watching super closely this week and possibly starting position. First off, I'm going to talk about the cannabis sector. So I've been studying a lot and researching this sector a lot this week, and I'm super bullish. Alright, so my favorite stock in this space is Canopy Growth Company, ticker symbol CGC. So Canopy, a big play on them is their CBD drinks. They're producing a ton of these CBD drinks. They're selling out everywhere. They have some very big influencers helping them promote it. There's some big names on this. I think I'll do a deep dive on Canopy growth and have its own video. So I'll do that for that video. But this is a great sector. One of my bullish theses is that in the next 1 to 4 years, cannabis will be legalized in the United States. So this will be amazing for the cannabis stocks. I give this about a 9% chance to happen that that cannabis is legalized in the United States within the next 4 years. So I really do expect this. I am really bullish on the cannabis sector as a whole. These are long-term holds in my opinion. Okay, so first, Canopy is my favorite. Second, Aurora competes with Planet 13. I know that Jeremy from Financial Education, he's a very popular YouTuber. You guys probably all watch him. He loves Planet 13. I do agree with his bullish thesis. It is a great stock. So I'm very bullish on Canopy, Aurora, and Planet 13. And once again, during the Rona, people are staying home. A lot of people are just staying home. What else is there to do for some people besides smoke every single day? So sales are kind of through the roof in the cannabis sector, not even counting the legalization coming soon. Once the legalization happens, I expect each of these stocks to double at the least, which will be insane. That is such high upside. And another bullish thesis on this sector is these are hyped up companies. We saw last year all these companies skyrocket at once. We saw like Hexo go up to like over 100. We saw some of these insane. So this is an industry that can gain momentum super quick, can have super high upside. It is one of my favorite sectors to invest long term in. It is a buy and hold sector for me. I do expect some crazy gains. I expect Canopy to end 2020 over $30. Reach its high at some point of $80 within the next few years, and I'm super bullish on this one. And like I said, I'm gonna make a trade board or a deep dive, some type of video on Canopy Growth Corporation, ticker symbol CGC. So the next stock I'm gonna be talking about is Jumia Technologies, ticker symbol JMIA. So just last year, this stock was $26. This stock is now trading for $5.92, which is insane value. And that's not even what I'm bullish on. I'm bullish on the growth opportunity of this company. So this company is an amazing business model. I've done a deep dive on this. I've researched a lot, and I really want to make a position in this stock next week. So Jumia Technologies, this is the Amazon of Africa. They own all the e-commerce. They're the main player in all this. Now, of course, Africa's economy is not as strong as the U.S. It's not as strong as China with Alibaba. But Jumia, it has so much growth to be had, and it has so much value at the moment. I see it reaching $26 within the next 2 years, which is just its previous high, which was just 1 year ago, not long. It has crazy growth opportunity, and I think this could be a really hype stock because of the bullishness, because it's kind of that Amazon of Africa. Just like we saw Alibaba, that has a lot of hype behind it too, because it's called the Amazon of China. Both of these companies are not as big as Amazon. They don't own as many smaller parts to them as Amazon does, but both of these do have the main e-commerce business in their respective countries. And the fact that Jumia is so undervalued, just look at the fundamentals, it's insane. I'm super bullish on Jumia. Thank you for the stock group for recommending me to look into this one. That was a great idea. And once again, I'm super bullish on Jumia, and I will be looking to start a position, probably with shares to hold long term, other than call options, because I don't see crazy high short term upside, but I do see crazy high long term upside. So I'll be holding shares. I would like to build out a $2,000 to $3,000 position to start, and then see where to go from there. But I am super bullish on this company, and I think this should be on everybody's watch list. Okay, so another stock that I want to talk about real quick is Epizon, ticker symbol EPZM. So on Thursday, this stock was having a very positive day, up 5%. I closed my eyes, look at the stock group. Somebody says, look at EPZM, it just took a nosedive. I looked, this stock went from up 5% to down 7% in a span of 1 minute, which was insane. I saw this quick overreaction play, bought in, end of the day up 12% on my position, so super easy gains. Once again, this is a lesson for the quick overreaction plays. Just play it as a bounce back, just super easy gains. Once again, this is one of my strategies. Along with the social research aspect, I do look for overreaction plays. That is one of my favorite swing trades to make. So the next stock I'm going to be talking about is Raytheon Technologies, ticker symbol RTX. So looking at this sector, the number one player is Lockheed Martin. So looking at Lockheed Martin, I was comparing these two, and RTX has so much more growth in front of it, and it's such a better value. I'm super intrigued by RTX's long-term upside. I see 2x in the next 3 to 5 years very easily and very consistent gains. There's almost no downside in this stock. It's just another stock to watch for the long term. I am a fan. I'm a fan of the management team. And I'm a fan of the growth potential. Just look into it. I'm just talking about this one really quick. I'm not going to go deep into it, but it is an aerospace defense company. It does have great upside. And once again, I'm not super short-term bullish, but I am super long-term bullish. So kind of like Jumia, I love this stock long-term. Not the highest upside short-term, but still should have solid gains. I expect a 10% to 20% gain to finish out 2020, and then see 10 to 20 to 30% the coming years. So very easy gains on this one. I see this one as an easy money stock. Disregarding a crash, this stock will just have steady gains and pretty much no losses in my opinion. I don't see any downside to this stock, disregarding a crash. And the final stock I'm going to be talking about is Penn National Gaming, ticker symbol PNN. So I've talked about this a lot in the past videos, but once again I'm going to reiterate, I love Penn National Gaming. The reason because of Barstool Sports. Barstool Sports is a brand that every kid follows, every college student follows, and probably 50% of adult guys follow. They have great social media, they're great at advertising. Check out their Twitter page, check out their Instagram page, check out their TikTok. They get the most views, they have the most followers. They're at the top of their class in the sports concepts. So in Q3, I'm expecting during the earnings call them to release the Barstool Sports betting app. I'm super bullish on this app. I see this app competing with FanDuel and DraftKings, and if not outdoing them, because Barstool is a bigger brand, bigger worldwide brand, bigger global brand. So I see Penn National Gaming potentially doubling by this Q3 earnings call. That is the upside. Now it does have substantial downside because just recently we saw the stock go from $4 up to $35. So a stock that can go up that fast can go down that fast. But be aware that during the Q3 earnings call, I'm super bullish and I am expecting them to announce the release of the Barstool Sports betting app. I'm super bullish on the betting space. As you know, with GAN, I'm bullish on Penn National Gaming as well. I'm not as bullish as I am on GAN because Penn does have some downside. But if my thesis comes true and they do announce this Barstool Sports app coming out during Q3, this will be insane for the stock. Easily $50, $60, $70 stock after they announce that. And for DraftKings, for now, I'm staying away. I don't see the same upside as I do with Penn National Gaming, and I don't see the same safety and upside that I do with GAN. So for now, I see better opportunity in the sports betting space. If you're looking to invest in the BETS ETF, ticker symbol BETZ, in my opinion, it's a safe play on sports betting, but it's not worth it. I would rather split 50-50 between GAN and Penn National Gaming, or in my case, I would do 70-30 GAN and Penn National Gaming. You maximize upside and you limit your risk with these two, and these two could both double easily this year. With DraftKings, I don't see the same upside. I see a potentially 50% gain this year, but that's just its max upside in my opinion, and I see much more downside. I see it could half if something doesn't go right in the sports world. Alright, so those are the stocks I'm going to be talking about in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Alright, so those are the stocks that I wanted to talk about this video. Just giving you guys some watch list candidates and some lessons that we learned this week. Congratulations to the stock group. We were sending profit screenshots all week, especially towards the end of the week. There were some crazy screenshots of GAN. On Friday, I saw anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 gain on GAN alone. So congrats to y'all. Some crazy gains. If you're interested in joining the stock group, it's just $4.99 a month. You get my portfolio every day, you get updates every single day, and you get my watch list every single night before the market opens, and my potential plays for the next day. So if you're interested in that, the link's in the description. $4.99 a month for all that. And the goal of the group, I do not give you advice whether to buy or sell. So if somebody sends me a message, hey Seth, should I buy this? Hey Seth, should I sell this now? I'm going to say, I'm not going to answer them. The reason is because this group is to make you a self-sufficient investor. I let you know my plays so you can make your own plays based off of those and learn my lesson and learn all my theses behind them. The goal is not for you to copy the trades. You do get to see, so you can copy if you want, but I don't advise you to do that. I advise you to do your own due diligence. I advise you to do your own research, and I'm not a financial advisor. I do not give financial advice. I'm just a very successful investor that's looking to share my knowledge around the stock market and to help others get some big gains. And we've had some great success. Towards the end of the week, we had some crazy gains. Almost doubled my portfolio this week, so that was insane. And yeah, super proud of you guys. Alright, also in the description is the Webull link if you want 2 free stocks. One is valued from $14 up to $1,400. So I highly recommend you do this. This benefits me as well. I am affiliated with them. But if you do this, you get the free money. If you don't like the platform of Webull, you don't like Webull as a broker, just transfer it over to your other broker. You can do that after like a week or so, after doing your first initial deposit. Get rid of that Webull, get that free money, transfer it over if you like TD Ameritrade, transfer your money to Ameritrade. Easy as that. Probably the worst you can get is $20 free because you get those 2 free stocks. The lowest amount is pretty much around 20. So you can't go wrong with free money. Once again, check out the link in the description if you want that. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. I'm trying to grow this channel. I'm trying to grow the platform, join the stock group, and just help other investors and get some other ideas from other investors. We're growing as a team. We've had some amazing gains. And yeah, hope you all enjoy the video. Let's get rich.